There we go.
I love you.
Hello and welcome to A Visit with Nana and Papa. I'm Nana.
I'm Papa.
We are coming to you from Austin, Texas. Today is
The Lido deck of hell. Today, the high is 108. With possible thunderstorms, which it's not actually going to rain. It's just going to steam a little bit. I hate this.
I know. For those of you who live where summer has not come to you, or it's not summer yet, or I don't know, I am very, very jealous of you.
Yeah, somebody was complaining because where they used to live, it was like 58 degrees. Wow.
Anyway.
I'd take some of that.
Yeah, so to those of you stuck down here in this heat, I'm sorry, and I understand completely. Although, for the most part, I haven't gone outside. So for those of you stuck in home when it's snowy and blizzardy and whatever, just know that's my summer. So when you're excited that it's summer because you can get out and do things, I'm excited when it's winter because I can finally come out of the house and do something.
Yeah, we're thinking about planting a garden for the winter because it did not fare well over the summer. Wasted a shitload of water, wasted a lot of effort, and all we did is...
I got one tomato that never actually ripened.
We baked some plants.
Yeah,
we kept plants right on the edge of dying. If you believe in Zen, I think there's going to be payback for that.
I don't know, probably. Anyway, so today is the last Sunday in August, whatever, I think it's...
the 27th.
Yeah, because this next Saturday is September 2nd. Next weekend will be Labor Day. For those of you who have a Labor Day, congratulations. I hope you have a great weekend. We are going to post this, however, on Tuesday. We'll see how it goes. I know some of you watch it on the weekends because it comes up on the weekends, but I just want to see how it goes putting it on Tuesday. It gives me time then to edit it. I don't have to be in a rush. And although I know I don't have that fancy editing where I put in all this beautiful stuff and beautiful music, which, by the way, I think I'm heading for Houston. A short clip of it for the front of this, if there's a way to record that. Doesn't have to be video, but just video or audio.
I've already got a ringtone of that. You want the ringtone?
Yeah, that would be perfect, because then I can just put that at the beginning of... I just think that would be super cool to be the intro to us. Would be, I'm heading for Houston, maybe even to Austin too. I drive to El Paso to get over you. I know nobody's ever going to pay me to sing. They're going to pay me to shut up, but I love that song. And he wrote it, and it's one of my favorites of all time. So, anyway, we might put that in the front here. And, but I won't ever have that polished. Oh! It's going to be super loud. I'll enter it. We might cut that out because the audio is not going to be the same, and that is way overdriven. So yeah, we need to re-record that.
It's not way overdriven.
That is very overdriven. That's like it doesn't sound like you. Anyway, we'll try and re-record it. If not, we won't. But that would be really cool. Anyhow, not a lot to go over for my knitting. I am wearing I don't even know what pattern I used for this. I put it in the notes below because I really don't remember the pattern I used. It's hedgehog fibers. I don't know the name of the color. It'll be down below. And I'm such a good podcaster. And then this gray, which is down here, is from my local yarn shop, Hill Country Weavers, and it's their Hill Country Weavers Naturally, and it's their merino yak and silk undyed. And I didn't realize, and I didn't wash this first, and so it's bled. This yarn has bled, and it bled into the gray. And the yak silk has been, I don't know, like peeling real bad. Fuzz coming off of it pretty hardcore. So if I were to make another sweater, which I'm hoping to, with the hedgehog fibers, I will wash the hedgehog fiber yarn before I ever knit with it, to get all the dye out.
Or you could just try and do the citric acid bath and reset the dyes to make sure it stays.
That's what I mean. I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna like keep rinsing until there's nothing coming out, so it doesn't bleed into the what I made. And the other is, I don't know that I want to use the yak silk, because I don't want to knit something that's just going to completely peel the first time I wear it. So, and then I don't like how open the neckline is, and I followed this pattern, but I don't remember the name of the pattern that I followed. And then because it was irritating me, I stopped following it, which that's not the first time that's happened.
Nope.
And then I added some lace down at the bottom, but wasn't in the pattern. It was in the pattern up here, but I repeated it down below. I do still wear it. It still fits me. It's comfortable. It's light, but I'm not loving and I don't even know where all it is, but it has pinky red in the gray, and that's not my favorite. And then I only have one more thing, well, two more. Yarny, do you want to talk about books first? We'll do books first.
Books, I have more books than anything else, because it's been a book reading week and not a TV watching
That's
week.
okay. Well, let's talk about
movies.
books.
Didn't go to movies this week, did I?
Let's do books first.
New books. Currently, I'm reading a D.K. Holmberg book. I've read 3 D.K. Holmberg books this week. This is book 12 of the Chainbreaker series. It's the Council of Yorn. This is an intriguing set of books, the Chainbreaker, because it is tying together several series of books that are all taking place in the same
world.
Well, technically the same land mass of the same world. Much like Cana, we discovered that Cana was on one particular continent of this world, and then the Dark Ability was on another continent, and she went there on a boat. And so you had crossover. So it has several different versions and functionings of different forms of magic. So if you like magic and you like interesting new concepts of how magic could work, I would say check out the Chainbreaker series. But understand that you're going to have to look at...
We already went over that.
No, you're going to have to look at the other book series that are running parallel to this, so that when there's one character named Jaina... Jaina has a whole series of books of her own, so you have to know when Jaina's books fall into the Chainbreaker books. Otherwise, you're going, well, how the hell did Jaina go from being nothing to being this badass wizard type thing? Well, you missed 5 books of Jaina. That's how. And Jaina only makes sporadic appearances in the Chainbreaker. So,
in your best opinion, they should read previous series before reading the Chainbreaker because it has so much that comes from other.
Well, no, because they take place at the same time. So you kind of have to go to D.K. Holmberg's website and find out what's the reading order. Because it'll be, well, you need to read Chainbreaker 1 and 2, and then you need to go and read The Power of the blah, 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 and then you need to go, oh, and then there's also this series of books about Jaina's brother, and she appears in those every once in a while. She gets new magical abilities in those, so if you don't read those, you won't know how Jaina suddenly had the ability to go, and you're turned into an ant when you used to be an uncle.
So if they go to D.K. Holmberg's website, it has a best reading order.
I don't know if it does or not. I have not looked.
That would be interesting to know if there's a best reading order. I wouldn't care because I'm not reading his stuff anymore. But
but okay, so that's the current read is Chainbreaker Book 12.
What have you finished?
I have finished
on DK. Might as well
D.K.
finish.
Holmberg, The Song of the Stone, which is Blade and Bone Book 5. Blade and Bone Book 5 also has a completely different spin, but Blade and Bone takes place in the same world with some of the same characters crossing over as the Executioner's Song. So if you haven't read the Executioner's Song, don't read Blade and Bone, the Song of the Stone. Blade and Bone, you have to have read the Executioner's Song before you make it to Blade and Bone, or you will be going, huh? Yeah. And then also D.K. Holmberg, Shades of Magic, it's Restoration Book 2. What is that? Resurrection of Magic series. And it is also, once again, different kinds of magic. It's not, none of this is Harry Potter magic. So it's not wizards and warlocks and witches and wands and Avada Kedavra. No, this is poses, and you have to angle your body in just the right way until you get really good, and then you can do it all in your mind.
Anyway.
What?
They can figure that part out when they're reading it. Maybe they want to learn that on their own.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they want to have a reason to read the book, and besides just saying, hey, read a D.K. Holmberg book.
No, but you tell them it's magic. You don't have to tell them what it's like or what it's about or how it works.
Yes.
That's part of the fun of reading.
Yes. Anyway, now, Shannon Mayer, I found via K.F. Breen. They did a book series together. And it turns out that Shannon Mayer has an equally perverted mind as K.F. Breen. But where I like Shannon Mayer's books just a little bit better than KF's is Shannon Mayer says, for those of you that don't want to get into the dirty sex parts, move to the next chapter. Boom! You know that you can skip that book. You can skip the rest of the pages in this chapter because they're nothing except somebody describing somebody else boinking. Don't need it. So I go, hey, and I am at the next chapter, and we carry on with not carrying on. Unless you're into carrying on, which there is a niche market. If you go to Amazon Books, there is a huge, huge market of 40-year-old women who get magic and get laid. They just got it. They got a divorce, and they got magic, and they got a boyfriend, and they got a whoopee. There seems to be a really big demand for that. So I'm thinking there's a lot of 40-year-old women out there that are living vicariously. I don't know.
I don't know.
But
not my jam.
K.F. Breen and Shannon Mayer both have really excellent stories and interesting storylines. But sometimes they have just a whole lot more sexual content than you may be comfortable or desirous
way more than I'm
to read.
with.
But at least with Shannon Mayer, she will give you a heads up and say, move to the next chapter, and you can skip those pages. K.F. Breen sprinkles them throughout the book, and they aren't at the end of the chapter, so you either have to read it or you have to skim through it and make sure that you're not missing any important characters or important because sometimes there's pillow talk that turns out to be important later on. You're like, when the hell did we learn that bit of information? Oh, well, that was during a boink. Must go back and read the boink now. Nope. I'll just live without that information. So, that covers the books.
Okay. So now I will briefly talk about what I'm knitting. So, this is my latest Vibes tee. I'm pretty sure I cast this on this week, on last Sunday, but I'm not entirely certain. I'll have to look it up. But I cast this one on and a purple one on very close together. The purple one I started first, and then I realized that I couldn't do the tutorials with the purple, so I cast on the green. I have done 3 videos so far. I'm going to record a 4th one today, and then I still have 1, 2, 3 more to do as far as tutorials, but I need to knit a whole lot more before I can do the last 3. And then trying to think if then this is for the knit along, and it's closed, just so y'all know. I have all the people signed up. The final email has gone out before the start. I might send one more reminder on Friday night just to remind, hey, it's tomorrow. And then it'll be next Saturday. And then on Saturday during the Zoom, I will be sending the links to the 3 tutorials that I have so far. Maybe there will be 4 of them. Because I know some people they knit fast, so maybe they'll finish the sweater in 2-3 weeks max. And then some people need it to go slow, and so they can watch what video they need for that day and then come back and watch another when they need it, but they have the links as they need them. So that's the plan at the moment. I have done an exciting amount of 4 rows on this sweater and a total sum of 2 or 3 rows on the purple sweater since working on this. And then I did do 2 rows on my anchor sweater that I'm re-knitting the body of. Just because it was convenient, it was there and I needed to. But I've been working on this except for when it was ready to do a tutorial and I couldn't. It's a great work sweater for the most part, unless it's on a increase round or it's on a textured round. I can knit on this at work. I can knit on it while we're watching shows. I can, meetings. It's great. So it's getting the most attention. I'm hoping to have it done next week, but that's probably very much wishful thinking on my part because there is a lot of knitting to still be done. And that's it for my knitting. I have one more thing to talk about before I'm done, but you still have movies and TV shows.
We did watch some TV. Most of our TV was on Doctor Who with Jodie Whittaker's final season. And I don't know if Russell T. Davies coming back is going to be a good thing or not, but at the point right now where it can't be a bad thing. Unless he does exactly the same thing that's been going on. And I'm suffering the same burnout with Doctor Who as I have with Star Wars. How many times do you have to defeat the same enemy? The number of times that they have totally wiped out all of the Daleks, all of the Cybermen. They killed them off as a species. Only, well, shit, see, there's this one that you missed. Or there was just this little bit of genetic material inside of a old Dalek shell, and then some dumbass scientist decided that he would clone that. And all of a sudden you got 1 billion Daleks again. The Master, they made the master a girl, Missy, the
love
mistress.
Missy.
Her favorite, one of her favorite Doctor Who characters. It's who she wants to dress up as at Halloween all the time. Missy was the perfect culmination of the master's life cycle. And you got to understand the master, mistress, Missy, and her relationship with the Doctor perfectly by the master becoming a woman and the Doctor being a man. They brought the master back as an asshole, and the interaction between the male master and the female Doctor was leaving a lot to be desired. But I am so tired of recycling the bad guys. Yeah. There's enough wicked in the world. You don't need to keep flogging the same horse. Once that horse is dropped dead, it ain't gonna jump up and nigh.
Yeah.
Give it up. Find something new to write about. And create a whole new boogeyman. Jeez. Star Wars creates new boogeymen by farting. Oh, look, we have a new character. Jabba the Hutt. Well, okay, we have Jabba the Hutt. What else can we do? Well, let's take another different kind of a slug and let's give it this and give it that. And oh, wow, Boba Fett.
Anyway,
I'm suffering from burnout on Doctor Who's villains. They need new villains. Just like Star Wars needs new villains.
I was sad because I loved how Missy died. Because Missy died saving the Doctor. And in the process, the episodes coming up to that, it was very clear that Missy's anger was because she was acting out to get the attention of the Doctor, because the Doctor was her best friend, and her best friend didn't want to pay attention to her anymore. She only wanted to pay attention to humans, and it hurt. And so she was acting out and lashing out because of being alone, being abandoned by her best friend. And I'm not saying that the master's behavior at any point along the way was okay. I'm just saying I think in every human, even the ones who I really want to vomit when I see them, and we just won't go into who I'm thinking of right now, but most of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I think that every human has the potential for good, and every human has the potential for bad.
The two dogs.
And we just wake up each morning and we have to decide which one we're going to engage. And it just was really nice to see the other side, and then to go back to the master, and it's like the good part of the Missy went away, and that was very depressing or sad for me.
And the master came back even worse than the master was when Missy died.
Yes. Exactly. It could just anyway.
Okay. Then we had been watching The Warrior Nun. The first season of The Warrior Nun was great. We liked The Warrior Nun season 1.
Yes, very much.
And then season 2 came out, and we're like, whoa.
It just kept getting weirder and weirder and weirder.
And it became, well, once again, if at the end of season 1 you had a character who was quasi good, quasi bad, and at the end of the season she had made this redemption curve, and she was 100% good, and she was somebody you could get behind and somebody you could like, and then in season 2 they take her and twist her and turn her into a villain.
It just kept twisting, and I just wasn't. So I asked him if we could skip the rest of the season, go to the last episode, and watch the last half of the last episode, and so we did, and that made me happy because I got to see the end of the season. They're probably gonna have more episodes. Who the heck knows? I don't really care because I have no intention to watch it.
They may or may not. Who knows?
But for me, what I wanted to see, the finality of what that season ended with, I'm happy with it, but I didn't care for.
But speaking of more episodes, Wheel of Time on Amazon. September is going to be season 2 of Wheel of Time. So if you liked Robert Jordan's books, you may not like the series because they play pretty fast and loose. Okay, they just screw it all up. But
if you
2,
ignore the books and you just watch the show, it's not bad.
And season 1, you should probably binge for this last week of August so that you are all caught up for season 2 when it comes out in September. We watched a show just on a whim because I got an email saying, "Hey, have you checked this out?" And I said, "No, I had not." And it was Gal Gadot in Heart of Stone.
I love that. That was so fun.
She is usually not into spy movies.
No, it's usually not my.
She's not a big spy movie fan. I can't get her to go to a spy movie, but because it had Gal Gadot in it, well, we can watch this one. It was a pretty good show, but we did wind up hating the same people, which is not always the same case for us. We usually wind up hating somebody in the movie, but it's not always the same person that we hate. To this particular movie, we both found the same person particularly vile. So,
yeah. Well, it wasn't.
So this person did a very good job of playing the evil person.
They did. They nailed it. They nailed it. But it was a good. It was. I don't think it was heavy. There was no. Nothing scary. I didn't like. It wasn't on the verge of horror or anything like that. I just felt it was an action thriller. I feel. And it was good, mm-hmm. And I really
I may have to suggest it to my sister. She might like it.
I really enjoyed it. So.
And I did not know about this last week in order to give you all a heads up and tell you, but today is National Movie Day. And most of the theaters out there are doing some kind of special Guga. AMC, any movie, any format, $4.
Yeah, I almost went.
That is an amazing deal. That means that you can go and see an IMAX movie for $4. IMAX movies are $22. You could go see an IMAX movie for $4 today. And you can get a small popcorn and a small drink for $5. So, here in about an hour, I will be at the theater with my buddy Gus and his daughter, and we will be checking out Blue Beetle and sipping a drink and having some popcorn.
I hope you have fun.
And my phone just chirped at me, Blue Beetle in 1 hour. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I have one last thing. You're done with your movies and books, right?
I think we're done.
Okay, so I'm going to do 2 things. We're going to talk about this. First...
Oh, I left out a book. Oh, well.
We'll talk about it real quick.
Another D.K. Holmberg, The Dappled Dread. It's book 2 of the Story Weaver saga. Interesting set. You don't have to have any precursors. You can just read that one straight up. Once again, D.K. Holmberg, editing nightmare. Just know that going in. Now, Valerie got some happy mail.
Yeah.
And she was so happy that she didn't wait until we got in the house where we could actually video her opening. And, I thought she was going to pass out.
I was...
beyond happy.
Yeah.
So get it up there and show everybody your doo-doos.
Before I say this, I want to say, for those that don't know, I went to school, I went to college to be a math education teacher. That's what my degree was in, math education. And this bag was a Flock Fiber Festival in Seattle. Was the first weekend of August, like August 9th, something like that. Anyway, and Pearls and Postulates is a dyer that I follow on Instagram. And I follow her because she does tons and tons of women in STEM colorways, and her entire business is science mathy inspired, hence pearls and postulates. Anyway, and it's just my happy place. It's like someone crawled inside of me. Anyway, so she posted that her mother had made these bags as an exclusive for her booth at Flock Fiber Festival. And I was like, oh, I want one. I did not know the loveliness that was going to come. So first I'm going to show you, on the inside of the bag is a ruler. So when you're out and about and away from the house and you need to check how many inches you've knit, there's a ruler in the bag. Built in, sewn in to the, anyway. Also,
there's a D-ring.
There's
show them the clipping.
There's this, which holds a key ring. And on the key ring, they included some of the light bulb stitch markers and their logo. So here, pearls and postulates. And then there's their contact info. It's probably going to come up reversed for y'all. So if it does, it's going to be in the show notes below. But she also made these, and she posted on her Instagram after Flock of Fiber Festival, or at least I saw it after the festival. Her and her dad spent days and days and days redoing to get these just right. But it is a needle gauge and a protractor and a 4-inch gauge ruler all in one, and it's just delightful. It makes me so happy. And it came also with a little pouch. There you put your stuff in, your notions in, which I do like keeping notions in my bag. So I'm so happy. And I was so not expecting it because I didn't get to go to the festival, but a lovely friend from my Tuesday Zooms, Shannon, she bought it while she was at the festival, and I think it was the last one when she got it.
That's cool.
And yeah.
Now you know me and my public service announcements. I found out something that I kind of knew but kind of forgot. See, yesterday we were out looking for a bed and for a chair for her, and did not find either one. We bought a chair online at Amazon, and we still haven't gone in with the bed because we'll be doing some more thinking about the bed. But in all the places that we went, I said, you know what? They sell beds and chairs at Sam's. I said, well, but we don't have a Sam's Club membership. I said, no, but my sister has a Sam's Club membership, and we can see if they have anything we're interested in. For those of you that did not know, you don't need a Sam's Club membership to shop at Sam's. They can't stop you from going in. You're welcome to go in and browse. And should you find anything that you want, you can buy anything you want at Sam's. But if you're not a Sam's Club member, there is a 10% upcharge on whatever you buy. Now, that's like, oh man, that's bullshit. I'm not doing that. Okay, a 40 count 16 ounce water at Walmart is $5.50, something like that. A 40 count 16 ounce water at Sam's Club is $3.98. Okay, $3.98. 10% of $3.98 is 39.40 cents. Call it 40 cents. So $3.98 plus 40 cents is $4.28. Still $1 cheaper than Walmart. We get ours at Walmart because we do the Walmart Plus and have it delivered, and that means somebody else carries 40 bottles of freaking water up 20 flights, a flight of 20 stairs, and I don't have to. I'm okay with that. But look at what you're thinking about buying. Go and wander through Sam's, see what they have that you use, and You don't need to pay $60 a year for a Sam's Club membership if you're not going to use Sam's Club worth $60. But if you are only going to go in and buy stuff once a month.
Yeah, but if you go in once a month, and even if you only spend $3 on the, if you spend $6, so you spend $6 on your 10% upcharge
then
once
you pay
a month,
for it.
then you've more than paid for your
membership. But
so just pay attention to that.
Yeah,
that
just
if
look at what you're buying and whether or not 10% upcharge.
Personally, I wouldn't get another, but it's just the two of us. If we were a family and we still had kids at home and we were cooking for 5 and 4 or whatever, then it's worth it, but not for
wow. Something that just absolutely appalled me. I saw people with bunches and bunches of meat in their carts coming out and going to their car, and in their car, they don't have a cooler. They don't have ice. They don't have anything. And they are leaving the meat in the cart, and they are packing their dry goods and all their other bullshit into the car and leaving the meat sitting out in the sun. And it's 100 and some degrees.
It was 106 yesterday.
And I'm like, wow, you're not worried about spoilage? No, we'll be home. Yeah. Your car's 120 degrees because it's been sitting out in the sun. So the inside of your car is 120 degrees and you're putting your meat in there. That's called slow roasting. When you are using a smoker. A smoker is like 150 degrees. So, slow roasting. So when you get home, if it's not spoiled because it's been sitting in the heat forever, it's already started on cooking. So, but anyway, I wholeheartedly encourage everybody to think about this and then do with it as you will. When you go shopping, do you take a refrigerator bag and an ice pack? Odds are good you'll say no. Think about this when you're shopping. How long are you walking through the store? How long is it going to take you to get home? And how hot is it? Now, would you take a chicken and set it on your counter for an hour, or set it out in your car for a half hour and then bring it back in and put it in the refrigerator? No. Would you sit your milk out on the counter for an hour or out in your car for a half hour and then think that it's going to be good milk? No. So why do you let your groceries get hot when they're supposed to be cold? Cold bag, ice pack, and you can keep your cold stuff cold, and when you check out, take it out, let them scan it, put it back in, and take it out to your car. Boom. Win-win. Up to you. Now, you went to do something to knock everything down, so please tell us about your special needs.
I got mail. So I ordered these. There's 10 of them, but I only have 2 of them out. But this is a DK boucle, and I'm gonna hold it. I hope I have enough to hold these together, and I'm going to make a ranunculus. And everybody wanted to have a ranunculus video, so now we can have a ranunculus video and tutorial.
Speaking of getting mail, I got mail. My sister bought me a electronic stimulation thing for your feet. It's supposed to be a massage unit, and she got it at Walmart, and the first one got stolen out of my mailbox when everything else got stolen. Oh, by the way, for those who were questioning, yes, we got our money back from having our accounts vandalized by unscrupulous people. But I got she bought me another one, and I got it and I tried it, and with my neuropathy, I had it set at the maximum you could set it at, and I kind of sort of thought I could feel something for about 10 seconds, and then I couldn't feel nothing. And I ran it until it turned off after 15 minutes, and I got nothing. But my already purple feet were still purple and swollen and painful. And I tried it again, and I have a rule of thumb. You should try something 3 times before you give up on it, unless the first 2 are the same. Anything you do in life, do it 3 times. If the first time was great, before you go and invest money to start this new hobby, do it again. If the second time is do it again. 2 out of 3 wins. If the first time was great, the second time was great, probably odds are good it's going to be great. If the first time sucked and the second time sucked, don't put yourself through the third time. It's probably going to suck. Just a thought. We had one of our people in the comments suggest that there be a t-shirt designed by our little friend Hazel that says, Hazel says, be kind. Hazel says, be kind. So we mentioned to Hazel's mother that there might be a demand for a Hazel Says Be Kind t-shirt. And she said she would talk to Hazel and see if Hazel would be interested in designing said t-shirt. So, and your comments to this week's, let us know if you would be interested in a Hazel Says Be Kind t-shirt, and we will share that information with Hazel's mother, and we will find out if Hayes actually wants to make such a t-shirt. And if she does, then we will facilitate the acquisition of a Hazel Says Be Kind t-shirt.
And we might actually start wearing them.
And well, if Hazel designs a Hazel Says Be Kind t-shirt, I may have to ask for the artwork and have it printed on a wool, merino wool t-shirt. Because you know me, I like my merino wool, but I wish it wasn't so damn expensive, because all of my merino wool is blue or red, and I have one gray and one light green one. The light green one is too thin, and our high efficiency washing machine has torn it in so many different places I look homeless when I wear it.
So now I hand wash them.
I won't ever buy another one of that particular.
No, that brand was
just
not great.
It's not stout enough, but they want so much for those shirts that I don't really want my washing machine to destroy them in the process of making it clean.
I hate our washing machine so much. I don't know if you guys have the new ones, the high efficiency ones, or if you have the old time that has the top load and it has the... Anyway, I miss the old kind. I miss the ones that would actually agitate and would actually... Like, it didn't destroy my clothes and the clothes got clean. And now with our current washer, we can't use powdered soap of any kind unless we take and put that soap in with hot water and shake the living daylights out of it to actually
turn it into a liquid
soap. And then we can pour the liquid soap, because if we use powder of any kind,
it just stays powder.
It just sticks to one of the articles of clothing, and it never...
The action, because it doesn't actually have an agitator in the middle. So what it does is it folds the clothes over, and it just folds the clothing over the powdered soap, so that the powdered soap is stuck inside of that article of clothing. It doesn't do a lot of good.
Horrible. Anyway, I'm not a fan.
But speaking of laundry, for those of you who are like us in Texas and living in the Lido deck of hell, we had one day in the last 45 that was under 100. Isn't that special?
We were so happy. It was 98.
We might have missed it. And for those of you who think you can tell the difference between 99 and 100, there's 100 bills in a stack, in a banded stack, If you can look at a banded stack and tell the difference of a 99 bills in that stack and 100 bills in that stack, you are more perceptive than 99.99% of the world.
Anyway, it's
but
hot.
For those who have our issues, our Texas cold water is almost 100 degrees. It's like 90 some degrees for the water that comes out of the faucet.
Yeah, the cold faucet.
That's the cold water. So when you are trying to do cold water wash, 98 degrees is not cold water for cold water wash. So that makes it very difficult to do cold water wash in Texas. Here's the plan. The night before you're going to do your cold water wash, fill up some gallon milk jugs and sit them out on your counter. Your air conditioning will chill those bottles down to whatever you have your air conditioning set at. So in the morning when you're going to do your laundry, you set your washing machine to cold water, and then you pour your gallon jugs in there and dilute that 98 degree water so you can actually do cold. You can do your cold water wash with your washing machine by giving it cold water. You don't have to refrigerate it. Just set it out on the counter, and
but it'll still rinse in hot water. Just saying. So maybe do it by hand. But anyway.
Maybe stop it at the rinse.
We're going to end here. We hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. He has a movie he needs to get ready and get going to. And I have a Zoom coming up. By the way, quickly, if you want to join us on the Zooms, there are Zooms on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central, which is 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. In the U.S., I don't know what it is in other countries, but use Google. It's your friend. And then Tuesday nights, it's at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And also Thursday is the same. That's it for me. Do you have anything else before you say goodbye to Mom and be kind?
I love you, Mama.
Bye, y'all.